This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Let's rock and roll. Yeah, a little Chick-fil-A in the house. There we go. That's a drug. That's what that is. Chick-fil-A is a drug. I don't know what they put in that chicken sandwich, but it's like crack. All right? We're all like Pookie going to the Enterprise and getting high. That's exactly what we're doing with all of us at Chick-fil-A. I don't know what they're doing. They're putting some in that chicken. Alain Poupart's ready to join us. He loves his Chick-fil-A and his Montreal Expos hat. Correct?
Oh, I do.
Yeah. Although you can have a little Hortons, right? It's all right with you, a little Hortons, right? Donuts?
No, to me it's the Hortons coffee.
Well, of course.
Every
you go for
morning.
the coffee. That's what everybody loves. I'm the guy that loves their glazed donuts, actually.
I like the Timbits too.
Well, there you go. See? There. By the way, why don't you talk to them about, putting a couple of locations
I know.
down here, bro.
I know.
Jesus. I mean, that's a crime, bro. Do they know
It
that
is.
we have Canadians down here? By the way, do they know that?
I don't know. I mean, the thing is, I can get my coffee pods through the mail. It's always a great day when that box arrives and get my 2-3 cups of coffee every day. That would be a good idea.
Right.
Sign me up for that.
We need an In-N-Out burger and a Hortons down here in South Florida, folks.
Yes,
Let's go.
sir.
Let's go. Work it out already. Damn it. I was talking with Cam about this, and I want to run it by you because it's interesting that the Dalvin Cook stuff, which we've talked about for months now and all this stuff, and it's over-talked. And then the other subject that we've talked about that we've kind of tried to, try to educate the public because, we have so many people who are you got to sign Dalvin Cook. And they're not in a hurry, and neither is the entire league for running backs. It doesn't matter if you're Derrick Henry, and it doesn't matter if you're Saquon Barkley or if you're Austin Eckler or if you're Dalvin Cook. There are so many running backs available that you can have them. You could try to trade for them. The guy from the Raiders, what's his name?
Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs again. And, we don't talk about this, but there's a guy that's available in free agency. And he's there, and nobody has signed him in Kareem Hunt. And it's funny because he's a damn good back. He's fresh because he's had the best seat in the house watching Nick Chubb run and dominate for the last 2 years. He doesn't have a lot of carries. Isn't it funny how that's a good running back that you can grab and probably at a very cheap rate? It is amazing how disrespected that position is.
No question. A couple of things about Kareem Hunt, though, is from what I read, I think the Commanders may be in line.
Right, yeah. Well, but that's Josina reporting it. I don't know about that.
Okay. Your obligatory shrug there. That's
Yes.
fine. Also, I didn't study his game all that much last year, and I don't think he played very much against the Dolphins. It was mostly Nick Chubb.
Yeah.
From what I heard or read was he's not the explosive guy he used to be earlier in his career, and there's a little bit of baggage there if we're going to be honest about it. So, and again, overall the position is completely devalued, which is what makes what the 49ers did last year very interesting because this is a team that supposedly devalues running backs as in everybody.
Oh, no, but wait a minute. They don't pay a quarterback over there. And then they had Purdy. I understand what they were doing. They went off script because they said, we got a 7th-round pick at quarterback. Let's make life easy for him. We got a monster line. We got the receivers. We got the tight end. Let's go get him a back because we're not paying a quarterback. Even at that moment, Garoppolo signed for a 1-year, $7 million deal. So they had no money on quarterback. And so I think that's what they did in that case. They normally, if they had a $30 million quarterback in play, they would have never made that move.
I understand that, but you kind of broke me off before I was making the point that they went, as you said, yes, they went against script because that's the one organization that usually doesn't spend on running backs because their whole model is built around everything we do in the system is so good that any running back can succeed. They're the one team that saw the value and had the financial flexibility to get it done and bring in Christian McCaffrey. And the argument that could be made is Christian McCaffrey showed you, I mean, he was some kind of impactful for the 49ers, but because of the way that their offense is a lot more running back centric than a lot of other teams' offenses. including the Dolphins, which has to be one of the least running back centric offenses in the NFL. Just
by
like
choice.
just
By
like
choice.
KC, correct? Just like KC is extraordinarily kind of quarterback centric. Buffalo has been quarterback centric, but I think Buffalo is making a little bit of a move to get away from that because they're putting too much on Josh Allen, and the guy's going to get beat up and be done in 3 years. It's too much him. There's no balance, and there are times when push comes to shove, they need something else, and they don't have it, which is why they signed Damian Harris in the offseason, who was a really good pickup, to go along with James Cook. And Latavius Murray also they picked up.
No, I'm with you there. I know that they've got to get the running game going. I'm glad you said that. You led me to something. How bad is the situation with Buffalo? Because Stephon Diggs,
So weird.
what a petulant child, bro. Because for Josh Allen to say that it's on me when let me go by track record. Josh Allen is like the easiest going guy out there. Everybody loves Josh Allen, bro.
Yeah.
Fans love Josh. Opposing fans end up donating to Josh Allen causes, okay? Nobody dislikes Josh Allen. Yeah, as Dolphin fans, we may hate him on that day that he throws for 300 yards, but what I'm saying is as a person, he's not a jerk. So, for him to bite the bullet and say, "Oh, it's on me," I love it as a leader because that's what he's doing. But it's sad that McDermott had to go out and add 400 statements about how much they support him and love him and all that. And it just seems like it's such a fragile situation with that guy. And I think that doesn't bode well for them. It looks like there's drama where there needs to be no drama whatsoever from this guy.
And in a lot of sports, I would tell you, who cares? It's two guys throwing a fit, whatever. But football being the way that it is, with chemistry being like a really big part of it, and for this to happen in minicamp, that sets a bad tone. And I think if McDermott had a do-over, I'm not sure he'd go with his "I'm very concerned" comment. He would have said something like, "Yeah, no, it's it's all good and all that," and kept it in house. And then he just put it out there.
Right.
The other thing with Stephon Diggs is he's high maintenance. I don't think I'm going on a limb over there. He's also kind of reminds me in a sense of Jarvis Landry. The give a shit factor is very, very, very high. So that's good. That's really good for a team. Unfortunately, sometimes there's some immaturity that shows up and it creates a situation like what you have now. And Buffalo's a team. I mean, this is a really, really, really talented team all over the place. But they don't need to have this kind of like crap coming up in minicamp. Maybe it gets smoothed out before training camp starts and it becomes a nothing burger, or it could become something that hangs over them the entire season.
Right. Yeah, no, I'm with you. And that to me, I think it is going to be something that is going to hover over the entire football season because this is kind of who he's been, dude. And I don't know what the hell he wants, to be quite honest, because he's got the money and he's got the targets. I don't know what the hell is actually going on. All right. The other thing, did you hear about Deion Sanders may have to get his foot amputated?
Yeah.
Dude, how sad is that, brother?
It's
I was just talking about this, that you've been at this for a long time like I have. And Deion would be the guy that if he had a healthy foot, he'd be coaching his players and running around with the DBs. You know what I mean? And
let me show you how it's done.
Yeah, exactly. And for him to lose something that made him the great, great, great corner that he was, I mean, that has got to be so heartbreaking for him to not be able to be himself. Because, I was talking about this earlier. Darryl Green still likes to run a 4.4, 4.5 at 60 years old. And Dr. J will come out every once in a while and show you that he can still dunk at 63 or something. All these guys, Michael Jordan will act like he can still play and all that. And Deion would be the exact same dude if obviously he had a healthy foot. And the other thing I want to commend the man, as much as he was about Neon Deion back in the day, he has been one of the more selfless people in his profession nowadays. And as a result, and everything he did for Jackson State and what he's doing for Colorado, what he's doing for kids, what he did for his entire coaching staff, getting them, better jobs in Colorado, all these kind of things. Tribute to him, how he's grown up as a person, because it was all flash and fun and all that, when he was young. But to see where he was and what he is now, I commend him a lot for what he's done, man. It's pretty amazing.
Well, I mean, certainly had like monstrous success. The guy knows his football. Yeah, and I'm not necessarily been a fan of his personality over the years. To be honest, he's a little bit too, as you mentioned, prime time. Down. Look at me. I'm great. I'm awesome. And all that. I don't know. Maybe it's the Canadian in me who tends to be a little bit more reserved, more like Wayne Gretzky and Sidney Crosby. I'll let you guys talk about how great I am, as opposed to telling you all the time.
Right, but hey,
but it's awful. It's awful.
But I don't mind if you tell me you're great and then you back it up. That's the part that's the part. If you're going to talk it, then walk it. You know what I mean? But as a coach, he hasn't been like that. I think he's done a marvelous job of helping a lot of people along the way, from Jackson State to Colorado. I commend them for that.
No, it's been great. But going back, I prefer the Barry Sanders approach to the Deion Sanders approach.
I get it. But considering where he was, what you might have think it might have led to, it didn't lead. You never thought it would lead to this. He's been a pure leader, and I give him credit for that. So what do you think happens with Hard Knocks, bro? They wanted Detroit. So Detroit said no, which, by the way, would have been really, really cool. But it's the Bears, it's Washington, it's the Jets, it's what was the other one? The Saints. What do you think?
I mean, the best one's obviously the Jets because of Aaron Rodgers. I mean, that's a slam dunk. And the bottom line is, and this is where the NFL is kind of in a pickle by contract, they can force it upon one of those four teams. Do you really want? It's obviously preferable to have a team that's like, okay, we'll do it and we'll be on board with it, as opposed to a team going in there like kicking and dragging. Hell, I'd love it. They brought it back down here. It actually kind of was semi-fun when they did it in 2012.
But some tells me, although he would be really good for them, McDaniel would be really good.
And he's not shy about putting himself out there. So, I mean.
Yeah. I guess obviously they're not required, right? Or something.
Correct.
After a certain amount of years, you get a break, and then you're required again after a certain amount of time, right, or something like that. I don't know how it is.
I think the stipulation include you haven't done it for a long time, you haven't made the playoffs. I think if you make the playoffs, that removes the requirement.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
Well, if you look at the four teams you mentioned, didn't make the playoffs last year.
Amen. I did not realize that. Okay.
So. Okay. I have no clue who it winds up being. Because usually they would have picked somebody by now. I mean, things starting in early August. I have less than no clue. To me, it may be that they revisit a team that is now required to do it. And like I said, bring them down to Miami. I have no issue with that.
By the way, Sean gives me this. For those of you who aren't familiar with Hard Knocks formula, a team doesn't have to be on the show if any of the three rules below applies to them. They have a first-year head coach in place. They have a playoff berth in the past 2 seasons, and they have appeared on Hard Knocks in the past 10 years. Okay. All right. Wasn't Philbin a first-year coach?
He was, but they weren't required to do it.
They changed that rule after that, or did we we just accepted it? We wanted it.
Correct.
Okay. All right.
I don't know if wanted it or they thought maybe
that was not a good decision.
It would bring some juice. No, but it was fun. It was entertaining, and
I don't enjoy watching my favorite team look like absolute jackasses. I get it. It's entertaining for the rest of the league and all that. I just, oh God, it was so cringe moments in that whole thing. Vontae Davis.
I was going to say, which one was cringiest for you?
Isn't that the Ireland? We've got 3 4s and 5s. Yeah, that was my cringiest moment. Like, yo, idiot, you're the one in charge, bro. You're
You
the
sure?
one you're the one that's supposed to get the receivers. Don't complain to Peter King that you got 3 4s and 5s, you idiot. You're the one that's got to get the 1 and 2s.
You sure it wasn't Chad Johnson's whole
Oh,
situation? Really, that was tough.
that was bad too. That was bad too. Yeah, that was bad. Call my grandma was bad, and that was bad too. Yeah, I'm with you there. All right, what do you got going on alldolphins.com so folks can check you out?
Okay, I highly recommend this because I just finished it and I'm actually very proud of it. Very happy with it. I'm about to hit the publish button. It's a story dealing with the phrase we have heard so often this offseason. I'm so sick of it, and discussing and breaking down from all angles. And the phrase is the Miami Dolphins will go far in 2023 if Tua stays healthy. And I attack it from every angle.
Okay.
Highly recommend it. Encourage everybody to go to alldolphins.com. And also this weekend, I'm doing a mailbag. I have a call out already for questions. By all means, anybody just look at the Twitter handle over there, fire up questions, and we'll tackle them.
All right. Good stuff. You have the Dolphins winning the AFC East this year, don't you?
I haven't made that prediction yet.
Okay. If they stay healthy throughout the offseason, would you say they're going to win the AFC East?
They might.
Okay. Follow them on Twitter at Poupart NFL. Have a great Father's Day. I'll see your ass tomorrow anyway, so it doesn't matter.
There you go.
We'll be hanging out tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll tell you Happy Father's Day again. But see you tomorrow. We'll enjoy the lechon tomorrow, my friend.
Sounds like a plan. Looking forward to it.
You got it. There you go. Gotta love him. Alain Poupart, baby. Nobody styles a Montreal Expos hat like that man right there. And our EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report.
This is the Big O Show. This is the